How can we be better at decision making when we are playing football? Whether it's early decisions or the right decisions. How do we manage to make the best decision all the time? We have a very small field here and we're gonna work on our decision making. So you guys start playing 2v2 and then we'll correct as we go and see what works out best for most of you. You gotta ask yourself two questions. When do we make the decisions? Or can we change our decisions after we already made the decision? And let me know in the comments, which one are you? Are you making the decision and sticking to it? Or are you actually changing the decision throughout the game? We're gonna answer all those questions shortly. But first, let me be clear with you. I think what separates an excellent player versus an average player to be able to make the early and better decisions throughout the game. The goal is to make quick and early decisions. If you lose the ball when you make the decision, that's fine. But as long as you make that decision early and you get a good habit of making that decision. Quick decision. There we go. And so many players out there that are so worried about making a decision and sticking to that decision. But is that the right way of dealing with situations in the game? Because there are so many occasions personally that I stuck with my first decision. But I always thought, should I have changed that decision, right? Maybe we missed a goal, or I didn't pass when I was supposed to pass, or I passed when I wasn't supposed to pass. And this is exactly what makes it or breaks it for a player. Good, really good. First, start with when do we make the decision? Do we make the decision before we receive the ball? Or do we make the decision after we receive the ball? Or should we make decisions before and after you receive the ball? Personally, I think a good player is the one that makes the decision throughout the entire game. Whether you have the ball now or you're gonna have the ball a minute from now. What you did was right, the run. You passed the ball, right? And then you made the move. But he's already tracking you. Drop back and let him do the same thing. So you guys constantly have this movement going on in the game. Because like you made the move forward and then he's already coming and closing you. Back up and have option back here where you have space, because small area, right? You always have to have some sort of a decision in your mind. Whether you're gonna pass it now or you're gonna shoot from here, you always have to have some sort of a plan. This doesn't necessarily mean that you made a decision, but this could mean that you made a plan. So plan equals decision, in my opinion, when it comes to playing football. Then we'll have to come up with a second decision, whether if the first decision was right or whether if we should change our decision or not. Because when it comes to making good and early decision, it's not always about what you're gonna do. It's also about what your teammates are gonna do as well. If your teammate is not in sync with you, now if you're making a late decision, you don't know he's gonna make this move, and he doesn't know he's gonna make that move yet. So you kind of get caught off position, off guard there a little bit. So make sure he understands what you're gonna do next. If he's already making the run here, now it's too late for you to play it to him. You don't know that he's making that move, so the ball is gonna fall in behind him. It happened a few times already. Does it make sense? Yeah. Plan goes a long way with a good decision, an early decision. Because if you don't know what your teammates are gonna do, now your decision is gonna be limited because you don't know what the hell are your teammates are gonna do. And one of the biggest mistakes that players make when it comes to the decision, thinking that decision is only made when you have the ball on your feet. This is not always the case, because as a defender, you're gonna have to make decisions where to be to block the channels so the opposition can pass through. This all is a decision, not just when you have the ball on your feet. Good, really good. Same thing for you, Harry. You go there, but there are two people. You want to get away from those two people. But when it comes to when do we need to make the decision, whether if we can change the decision or if we should stick to our original decision. Let's say you are playing the attacking midfielder role and you planned or you decided that you're gonna pass a through ball to your teammate. And that passing channel is closed by 3 defenders in front of you. So now you're gonna have to change that decision to play simple. And that's where a quality decision comes from. Because when you make a decision and you force that decision, even if your options are blocked, now you're losing the possession. So what I suggest to every player is that you have that decision always in your mind. Don't change that decision. For the particular moment that you can change your decision, but you should always keep that decision in your mind until you find the opportunity to send that through ball to your teammate. And that's what makes a good decision. A good decision is knowing when to play simple and when to challenge the opposition. Whether you are passing a through ball or you're dribbling around the defender, But it's always good to have a plan in your head. Be open to changing your decision throughout the game. We kind of understood that checking forward, coming back and creating space. Now actually when to take your space with the ball. Because these two, let's say you guys have the ball and these two guys are defending, right? They won't be defending corners, they'll be defending central. So what we're gonna do is, you're gonna take your space and get them to move forward to make a good tackle for you if you have the ball. And then you're gonna show to a space, better space to have the ball, potentially in behind them. But let's see how much you can bait them to come and get that ball from you. So simply be stubborn with your decision, but be patient about it. And you're open to change it for that moment, but then you can always look for that option eventually in the game. And sometimes you can even make a decision at home, how you're gonna play the game, where this could not always go right, but eventually in the game, if you come up with a plan, it's always better. Because football is not always about being super creative. Football sometimes is about being patient, and being patient to find the right time and the right place to do things. Yeah, so go forward, go on him, go on him, go on him, go on him. There, now release. Because see, now they're coming forward, closer to you, right? And you have to get rid of the mindset of decision only being when you have the ball on your feet. A good decision is when you have the ball on your feet and when you don't have the ball on your feet. Basically, your movement off the ball and on the ball, and you can adapt to make quick changes to your decision. That's a good decision in football. Good, really good movement. Good, bait him, bait him, bait him. Take your space, lots of space here. Good. And in my opinion, a good player always have to scan, which is why scanning and decision goes hand in hand. Basically, have a good first touch, scan and make a decision. Because if a player is not scanning all the time when you're playing the game, now you don't know what the hell is going on the pitch. And if you don't know what's going on, now how are you gonna even make a decision? First, you have to make scanning a priority so you can make incredible decisions throughout the game. And it's gonna be easy for you to make decisions when you actually scan all the time and when you know where your teammates are, where the opposition is. You must have the right habits when you're playing football. Your first touch has to be a habit. Your scanning has to be a habit. Yes, these habits doesn't come naturally. So you need to work on these habits to make your decision, your scanning and your first touch is your priority when you're playing football. So now, drop a comment and let me know when you make those decisions. Or are you making the right decisions? I hope you enjoyed this video. Please drop a like, subscribe to my channel with the notifications on. And I also have a perfect video for you to improve your vision and your scanning, which you can find the link right down here. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time.